Ladies and gentlemen, today on We Create Music, we have Kevin Mayfield, FKA Hot Handz of Mayfield Creative Group.
Yes,
What's
sir.
good, my guy?
What's good, man?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, you too. As
Thanks
always,
for having me.
You know it.
Professional. I love it.
That's right.
Dope, man.
That's how we do. We create music.
I love it.
That's
bro.
right.
I love
Let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about how you got started.
How I got started as a music producer, man. So back in the day, my mom and dad were in the church heavy, so they were really choir driven, music driven. My dad was a singer. So from all that influence, I wanted to learn a little bit about music. So they got me keyboard lessons when I was a kid. I had one lesson, you know what I mean? And after that, it just kind of fell off. And then from that point, I think they bought me a little small Casio keyboard that I start making my own like little beats with. It wasn't really beats, it was just like stuff you just kind of hit like number 12 and you hit play and it was just like, and I would just like rap to it.
Yeah, I remember those.
Remember those
I had
joints?
one of the, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like we did that. I had my own little rap group back in the day. My mom and dad, by the way, had 6 kids. I'm the oldest. So like I would have everybody like be in the rap group. It was called Salvation Army back in the day. So we did that for a while. Put on shows for my mom and dad.
Oh, that's tough.
Fast forwarding years later, I think I was in 10th grade in high school. I really wanted to learn like music, get to a studio. I didn't know anything about it. And then random guy, Craig Gabadine, he had the studio in my school. He was like, yo, man, why don't you come through sometime? He invited me, got the invite. He gave me FL Studio. Well, at this time it was Fruity Loops 3.
Fruity Loops?
He gave me Fruity Loops 3. He's like, yo, try this, check it out, blah, blah, blah. So I took the disc, brought it home, tried to work it, then had no idea what I was doing. And then he said, I called him, I was like, yo, bro, like, I don't know how to do this. Can you show me like how to do this? He's like, bro, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. He's like, you gotta learn on your own. So he literally like, I thank God for that, cause like he would have taught me, I would have kept his way of doing things. And that just kind of taught me how to like just maneuver on my own. So I learned that, and man, from there, I've been on FL ever since and been producing for, some dope artists and some dope opportunities. So that's how I got started for me, man.
That's what's good, brother.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So you're originally from Philly.
Yes.
Moved to Atlanta about a few years ago, right?
2016, September.
Okay.
This year.
So what made you want to move from Philly and to ATL?
Just the opportunity down here. There's a lot happening. And I was like, man, there's a lot musically happening I want to be a part of. I thought Philly, I did some good things in Philly. I just felt like it ran its course for me, and it kind of got dry. And I wanted to just experience something different and just kind of like refresh myself. So that's why we moved down here. And also just wanted to kind of like, just experience, cost saving too. We wanted to save some money. We have 2 kids. We was like, maybe get a better school environment with a bigger house. Maybe we can kind of save some funds. And then at the same time, the music scene was dope down here, so it was like, let's do it. So it took us about 5 years to really like pull the plug and pull the trigger. We did it. And then, we haven't looked back. And of course, we missed the family and friends, but I mean, I really love Atlanta a lot, man.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it.
So let's go back a little bit.
Let's go back.
You're in Philly.
I'm in Philly.
You're doing music.
Yeah.
And you're getting some notoriety, and you're hooking up with people in Philly and doing music with people in Philly, right? So talk about your experience of working with, Cross Movement and Ambassador and, that kind of realm up in Philly. And just talk about some of your experience and how that relates to your musical journey.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think how everything for me just kind of happened organically. Like it was literally me making beats in my mom's house, telling people, yo, you should hear this. Like, no, that stuff is trash. And I'm like, nah, that sounds good to me. And I just kept on going. And then I think eventually I got like an opportunity opened up. It was like, yo, I want you to produce something for me. He heard something that he liked, and I used to go to a lot of concerts and just like hand out my beat tapes or do different things like that. And people will like either listen or not. And then I finally got one call from somebody, which led to like the next person, then the next person. And then it finally led to like a cross movement hearing my stuff. And then it was like, what? And I think it was at one point I was in college and I was like still cooking up in my little apartment, and then I got a call from the T.R.U.T.H manager at the time. It was Jessie Thompson. She called me and she was like, "Hey, we want to use."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So she was like, "Hey, we heard one of your tracks. We want you to come, and we want to use one of your tracks. So can you come down to Philly?" My college was about an hour and a half away from Philly at the time. So I was like in college. It's like, yeah, I want you to come down to the studio and let us hear some more stuff and try to work out this with you. I'm like, man. So I told all my friends and kind of like, yo, they want to use my tracks, bro. Like, we celebrated. We went to Rita's Water Ice. We just like, with skate. I don't know. We did a bunch of stuff. It was just so much fun, like, just to know that, like, they wanted to use my tracks. It was like one of the amazing feelings, man. So I did all that, and then it ended up getting 2 tracks with the T.R.U.T.H, and then like I ended up going to the Dove Awards in Nashville, Tennessee. Went to an after party with like David Crowder and Kurt Franklin and Tony Mac. At the time, I was so young, I didn't know how to like handle the business side of it. Cause I would have been networking and talking to people, but I didn't know what to do. I just loved the music so much that I just making music, sending it out, and didn't even know how to fill out like an ASCAP sheet. You know what I mean? I would ask cross women like, "Hey, like, how do you do this? Can you help me with this?" And they would help me. But, you know, it just took some time to really learn the business. So I encourage anybody that's trying to get this, like, really, like, learn the business too. Not just your craft, but learn the business side. Because that's super important. Yeah. Super important for payment.
Absolutely.
Down the line, bro.
Absolutely. Like, make sure your stuff is locked.
Yes.
You know, I think a lot of people today kind of getting started in the music industry are really just fascinated with what they kind of see on social media, and not really want to focus on the business side. They get caught up in, oh, hey, I can just make beats, and I can just put out product, but without understanding that this is called music business for a reason.
Definitely.
And there's a huge business part of it that a lot of people are just, I'll just use it, they're just really ignorant about, you know, because whether they don't read or study or go to conferences or whatever it may be. You know, so I think it's for everybody. I mean, just as he said, make sure you understand the music business as a whole, right? What do you need to do as an artist, as a producer, to make sure all your stuff is locked in? Whether it's getting your PROs right, whether it's getting your split sheets right, your marketing. I mean, there's a lot more than just sitting in your cave making beats.
It's a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So FKA Hot Handz.
FKA.
So how did you come up with the name Hot Handz? Or where did it originate from? Because you may not even assigned it to yourself.
Man, that came from high school. That came from me like wanting to be a producer. Like I talked about meeting that guy in my high school that put me in the studio. After I started making some beats, I was like, man, I need a name. So I would go around school with like, paper, and I wrote 2 names down, and I had like people check off which one they think sound better.
Like a voting system.
So I had Hot Handz and I had Fire Handz. And I said, yo, which one you like better? And everybody said, yo, Hot Handz. Hot Handz. I said, yo, I'm Hot Handz, bumping. I'm
Fire Handz.
Done. So that's kind of where the name came from, and I think over time I eventually like start to see like, wow, this name actually has some meaning, because like me being like a Christian and believing in God, when I read like the Bible and Scripture, I see that like when God wanted to like reveal Himself, He revealed Himself through a lot of times like fire. He spoke through the burning bush, or He would like send fire. So like it to me was like a sign. It's like, okay, like God is like His Spirit is in my hands leading me as I make these beats. You know what I mean? So it became more of like a deeper meaning for me. Like, okay, it's not just hot because I'm like hot, but it's hot because like I believe God is showing me how to do this stuff. You know what I mean? Through Him. So that's what it came to. At the end of the day, that's what Hot Handz really meant. And I think, well, I ain't gonna answer the next question, but that's where Hot Handz.
No, you go ahead.
Keep going. So I was gonna say like why I kind of switched it. I think for me, I think Hot Handz ran its course. Everybody's, but believe it or not, everybody still call me Hot Handz. Like, yo, Hot Handz, or they want to mess with me. Yo, Sweaty Palms. I'm like, Sweaty Palms. Like, seriously,
Sweaty Palms.
Like, sweaty Palms. T.Y.'s. That's you, boy. But yeah, like I think for me, like I did a lot in the Christian industry with Hot Handz, and people know the name. I just wanted to start fresh with my name and not having like, oh, I'm this guy, aka my real name. I just want to be my real name and kind of like make music that I really felt, and I knew it would be not just making beats, but I'll be more like raising up artists and making my own music, and it was like a lot changed. It's like becoming like this producer with a name to like, AKA like a creative director, because it's like I'm learning more than just music. It's like I'm learning about this video thing. I'm learning more about like talking to people, building up people, building a team, like kind of like a label, but not. You know what I mean? And I think eventually my end goal, I really want to like direct my own film, like a movie.
Okay.
You know, and I think maybe all these pieces are coming together for me to like get all these aspects. Cause you've been a producer, now you got to work with people, now you got to learn the film aspect, now you got to whatever else comes in play. You know what I mean? How to manage, blah blah blah. So I think all these experiences in my life are just kind of like making that happen. But yeah. So Hot Handz is people. You know, people still call me that if they want, but it's Kevin Mayfield now, and it's just time for a shift, man. Time for a change. You want to still call me Hot Handz? People still do. That's fine, man. I have no offense to that, but for me, it was trying to, you know, continue to move forward.
So do you find that there's more freedom in just using your name and just being you versus just being
like locked into
a name like Hot Handz?
I think so. I mean, I think some people could pull it off. You know, like Timbaland. That's not his real name, but he's still using that, and it's, you know, it's still catchy. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's just, you know, really up to the person how you make it work. Like for me, I just thought I was maturing, and I just didn't want to, even though I had a spiritual meaning behind it. But I think from the front line, people don't see that. People just see like, oh, you hot, man, you hot, like, you know what I mean? And that's cool. But I just wanted to kind of like change the dynamic a little bit. You know what I mean? People to get you out of just being a producer, Hot Handz, or DJ, to like, you know, an actual, you could be like one of these moguls out here like Diddy or Jay-Z, where they just kind of like use their name and they own a bunch of companies. It's still in music, but they do a lot other things that
outside of music right.
That can make. So I wanted to kind of like just take the limits off. Like I'm not just a producer, but I can do a lot more. So that was the main reason why.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, because I kind of went through the same process, right? And it just got to a point where I just didn't want to be locked in as Strychnine or locked in as even one of my older names, Sick Beats, and I just wanted to just be me,
exactly,
right, and just be Vaughn for me, but to also be able to open up for different ideas. You know, whether it's the creation of we create music, whether it's the doing film, whatever it may be, right? And so just not kind of being tied down or locked into one thing.
Exactly.
I can be and do whatever I want to do.
Exactly.
And I guess you can kind of do that with whatever your name is, but for me, it just was, this is where I find the most freedom, because Vaughn is just me.
That's who you are.
Right.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, well, I know for me, I like in this season of my life, I've actually been struggling with like identity issues in a way. Like just like if my music fails, and I feel like I fail, you know what I mean? It's just like so much a part of me that it's just whatever happens to the music, you know, let's go up, then I'm happy. But if it's down, nobody's buying beats, somebody cares no more, it's just like, dang. And it just like crushes me. So I'm learning how to like even get out of that. Like, yo, that music is not my identity. Like, it's my gift. You know what I mean? It's for me to give back to the world, but it's not me. Like, I'm Kevin Mayfield. I'm who God created. And I have to learn about, I'm at this point learning more about who Kevin Mayfield is. Honestly, I'm reading, like I am, you know, communicating, I'm talking, like better relationship with my marriage, with my kids. So I'm like doing a lot more, and I'm learning that, you know, okay, Kev, you're not just the producer that was locked in the bedroom, you know, just doing beats and people want to beats. Like, I'm learning, it's like forcing me to learn more about who Kevin Mayfield is, and, you know, how I can just kind of like live out my greatest potential in life. You know what I mean? Because I know it's a lot more than me than just like being behind a computer,
right?
making music, you know.
Right. So let's talk about a couple of things you said in there. So the first thing is dealing with insecurities. Right? I mean, do you think that a lot of people within this music industry kind of battle with identity issues as far as it relates to music?
I think so, man. It's like hard not to, because if you like are consumed in this and it's all you like eat and breathe, then it's hard to like not. And especially you got social media.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I love what my pastor says actually. He says, we got strong thumbs and weak souls. Ooh. You know what I mean? We just when I heard that, I said, bro, that hit me. Cause all we do is live like, you know what I mean? We compare, we look at everybody else's life, we see what they're doing, like, dang, I wish I could do that. And we don't even know we're doing it. We just kind of like subconsciously, just like stuff is just getting in our mind and we're just getting mad and jealous. And it's like, man, it's like, let me slow down on that aspect, which is all good and stuff. But I think for a lot of us, it's easy to get caught up in that.
I think it's so easy to get caught up. I think we as music creators always look at other people and kind of look at where they are and never really consider the journey that they were on to get to where they are. And so we don't really have a sense of the struggles, the pain, the sacrifice, the things that they had to go through to get where they were. All we see is, yo, that person's right there. That's kind of where I want to be. And then we get jealous. And then we get jealous and we get upset. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. I'm on a different journey. I'm on a different road than this person, right?
Exactly.
So I would agree. I think a lot of people within the music industry kind of deal with some type of identity crisis, not just in maybe their identity as, you know, am I good enough, but just identity as trying to be something that they're not. And I think that plays a big part in what we kind of see on social media as well, and it kind of gives you this disillusion that people are something, but they're not really that.
Exactly. I think it's a big issue right now, and I think, like you said, a lot of people just literally, you know, go on the internet, find who they like, you know, and just try to mimic their life after that and do the same things they did to get where they are. But I feel like, you know, everybody has a different path.
That's right.
Everybody has a different journey, as you said. So you really have to find out, like, really who you are. And for me, I believe that's honestly going to the creator and like, okay, why did you create me? Like, what's the point of creating me? I think in him you find like all of that, you know what I mean? And then you can come back and be like, okay, now I got it from the manufacturer, the creator. Now I know exactly. So when you find that, I think you're not swayed about, okay, he doing this, but this is where I'm at because this is why he made me. And so relaying that back to like finding out the purpose of something, you know, and not getting distorted in your identity. I think the same thing can happen for music too. You know, I think music, there's an original intent or original purpose for music as well. You know, like I believe, you know, like music was created, you know, in heaven, you know, and it was there to worship and glorify God. And then everything happened, the fall happened, and now music is here. And music has a lot of different meanings, you know what I mean, to people. But I think the original intent was to do that. So I think I think as I experienced like who I am and kind of learning my identity, one of my goals in life too is like restoring music back to the original intent of like why God created it. And that doesn't mean have to be like churchy or something music, but just kind of like just giving him honor in it, whether it's a techno, pop, reggaeton, trap, like whatever, just making it dope, but making it just, you know, going back to like give him what his due, you know what I mean? So I think that's one of my main things, and that's hence the fact Worship Wednesday is born.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So the concept behind Worship Wednesday and where it come from.
Yeah, man. So that's just another thing. As I went from Hot Handz to Kevin Mayfield, it was just a lot of things opened up for me, and it was like, okay, what can I do? What's happening? And an idea that's been big on my heart is like worship. I think a lot of people get like confused about what it is, and especially people in the church, like they go to church, but when they say it's worship time, they just like think, you know, the lights get low and like the person on the piano, it gets real slow. Like, nah, that's, people think it is, but it's like, I want to like debunk what it is, because worship is literally just like your lifestyle. It's like what you do, not just on Sunday, like what do you do Monday through Saturday? Like, are you living the way you need to live for him? And it's like it's a daily like sacrifice of like your own desires and what you want to do, you know what I mean? And just fighting your flesh constantly. But like, to me, that's worship. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
I wanted to highlight that on Wednesdays, and whether it's through an interview, whether it's through me producing something that has some type of worship in it. And I'm actually in a point where I'm trying to like revamp everything now. But that's just like where I'm at with that. Worship Wednesdays is something I feel like he gave me, and I wanted to somehow include my wife in it as well. Because I see a lot happening where like it's a shift of like working with your spouse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I see a lot of dudes doing that. Like, that's so dope. I want to include my wife because she definitely like works a lot. And I want to just kind of include her. We can do something together where we can grow and we can build it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was one of the ideas where it's like, okay, she can do this with me. We can go here with this. And she loves the interview actually. Like one of her goals in life was to be like a I don't know. I'm just saying Oprah Winfrey because she the one that came to my head. But like an interview, like a real good interview person. You know what I mean? It's like she wanted to do that. And she always talked to me like, Kev, I would love the interview. So I'm like, well, this might be an opportunity for you to do that. So, you know, I'm still getting clear on things of like, you know, I think I did one part of it. Did about 8-9 seasons, and now I'm at a point where I want to like revamp and kind of bring some other things to the table. But it's like the more I do it, the more I grow, the more I learn, and it's for me to just like not be scared to make mistakes and just keep moving, you know. So that's Worship Wednesday, man. Stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned.
Worship Wednesday, absolutely. Yeah. So how do you juggle doing all of that, being a dad, being a husband? And then, you know, how does that impact or even influence your ability to stay focused on the goal that you have? Yeah, man, it's tough. Like, I ain't gonna lie. It's tough, man. And at the same time, I do work with like a lot of engineering and productions, like behind the scenes of set building and like audio engineering. Yes. I just got involved in that. So it's not to cut you off on your on interview, but I saw the whole John Bellion thing. That was dope. Yeah, that was a dope thing. Shout out to John Bellion, man. Talented artist. Talented guy. He'll be on the show one day. Oh yeah, I believe it. So yeah, it's like so doing that, and then my wife having a very demanding job, and then my kids, my daughter about to go to kindergarten in August, and son in daycare, and like being at the church I'm at, Victory Church ATL, I am like the head of productions, running a team of like 10 or 12 people on the audio visual set stuff, and doing Worship Wednesday, being a producer, like all that stuff, man. It's a lot, man. So one of the things that me and my wife do, we take time and have like marriage counseling with our pastors and a group of us. It's probably like every once a month. So we get to do that, kind of get away from the kids and kind of like just refocus everything. And one thing my pastor always says is like, you know, always have a it's not even a balance. Like you just got to find that healthy rhythm. You got to find that rhythm where everything just kind of like works, you know, like works well. And so it's not everything not gonna be perfect. But I think one of the things for me, I try to do is write stuff down, try to have a plan of like what I can see. Because if I don't, my head is literally everywhere. I'll forget stuff and stuff will be everywhere. So I think for me, it's just like writing down, you know, the dates when I need to do this with my wife, or writing down when I work, when the kids is this. Okay, I set day for Worship Wednesday, recording this like this, planning meetings, and just have it set. So, and people come to me like, yo, can you hang out with me? Yo, we going to movies tonight. Can you come? I'm like, bro, like, I'm already planned out for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Bro. Like, I can't. And like, Dad, you can help. I'm like, bro, like, if you want to be like, you know, if you want to make it and be successful, you got to like have a plan, man. It takes work. And it takes work. You can't just like wing it, you know? And that's something I'm getting out of too, because I think I like the wing stuff. Me too. I like winging stuff. I just like all the flex. Never happens, you know. But let's go. But you can't, man. You really got to be intentional about what you're doing, and but it's still like find a meaning in the moment and enjoy the journey as well. So it's been a dope journey, man. Dope ride. What's up, man? I've been appreciating a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Grateful, man. Absolutely. Grateful. That's what's good. That's what's good. Bro. Yeah. Okay, so we go back a little bit again. Moved from Philly. Yes. Now in ATL. Yes, sir. ATL has many, many opportunities for music producers. So let's talk about the music scene here within ATL and how you kind of have been utilizing the opportunities that exist here to help further your career. It's a great question, man. I feel like I could do a better job with that. Like, I moved down here. And then my goal was like, yes, music opportunities is great in Atlanta, and everything just kind of like switched on me. You know, I was like, okay, like so I find myself honestly not even going to a lot of events. A lot of events that I've been going to was been like
a great connection through my friend Zion. Shout out to Zion. She's been a really good resource for me to kind of like go to different events and have people in the studio. But for me personally, man, I feel like I still struggle trying to find that like time to really do it. And I think another part of me is like deep down inside that I probably like never really share, or probably, I don't know, never really care to share. But I feel like I've been to a lot of these networking events, and a part of me is like, I don't want to go to another one. I don't want to act. Like, you're not going to give me the information I really need. Like, you're going to give me an email that you don't check. I feel like I've been through this so many times, and I feel like a part of me is like, all right, instead of me like trying to chase you, it's like, let me just work until like they see what I'm doing, they come to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I'm at in my head in a way. Like, okay, I want to go, but, and I understand, and I'm not saying don't network. Like, please do. You know what I mean? But I think for me, I think my focus just like shifted a little bit. So yes, I am going to do better at going to events. I think it is important for your face to be seen and people just kind of get recognized for who you are and talk to people, because you never know. It's really about relationships at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I do get that part, but I think a part of me sometimes, just for me personally, like, I assume that I meet somebody and my world is going to change the next day. And
it could, though.
You know, it could. And, you know, but I think for me, it's just like just focusing on like what I'm good at and like how I'm changing, and like kind of embrace that journey. And like while I'm doing that, it's still network stuff, but like don't make my like my focus on like, okay, I'm gonna go out and network, and because of that, something's gonna happen, because that like I just have to really know that like I'm doing what I got to do over here first, right? And then when I network, like I will feel better. I won't feel like, because sometimes I network and I'm like, yo man, we gotta get up. I got all this stuff for you. I'm like, oh yeah, send me some stuff. I'm like, cool. And I go home like, I gotta make like 5 pieces. I ain't prepared. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm focused on like preparing, because I feel like if you get to that point you're not ready, sometimes the opportunity you miss it.
Sometimes you do miss it.
You know what I mean?
Because you kind of put yourself out there first, like, hey, I got stuff, and then you're like, okay, cool, send me some stuff, and you're like,
I gotta go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some stuff. Let me make it first, though.
Exactly.
Right, and so you kind of put the cart before the horse.
I thought you got records waiting on me, like, and then you gotta, you know. So for me, I found out like I do that a lot, and it's like, Kev, if you want to network the appropriate way, I think you have to be prepared. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to be prepared.
If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. So when I go to these events, if I meet somebody again, they're like, yo man, you got stuff on me here now. Bad. I got a whole folder. We just hit play. You know what I mean? We got records. So I feel like that's kind of where I want to be. I want to be, and you know, so it's like that thinking, and then like, you know, just me, just like continuing just to get better. Like I you know, we talked about balance earlier. You know, I said like the rhythm. I'm trying to get this rhythm, but you know, right now it's just, you know, working. Taking the kids to school, you know, wife gets home like late, and then I'm like feeding the kids, and then like they go to bed, then I spend time with my wife, and then I like the energy that I have, I go down the basement and try to like create what I can, and then, you know, I try to just work around that, and then I just try to plan stuff accordingly. But you know, so like if there's a dope event that I feel like, all right, I really need to get there, then I'll like try to prepare in advance. Like, okay, I know this person's gonna be there. Let me try to create stuff and just have a little USB drive or something that I can just like, yo, you know what I mean? But so that's the only thing, just preparing, I think, before I get to these events. But to answer your original question, I can do better at getting to these events, because I do get something like, I want to leave the house, man. It's 8 o'clock.
I feel like leaving. Man, I'm watching something that
Netflix. You, man. Keep me on the couch, man. You keep me chilled up with my wife. We just watching some movie, Triple Frontier. Oh, we was I'm like this. Somebody, I was supposed to call somebody too. I was like, bro, my bad. I started watching this movie. I can't even call you, man. I'll call you in like tomorrow. Oh, man.
Netflix will get you. Netflix will get you. That's right. I'm gonna give myself a shameless plug, because there's gonna be a series that's gonna come soon from We Create Music on networking at music events. That's right. It's already in the works. It'll be coming sometime soon on even some of the things you just said. You know, making sure, okay, a particular person's at that event.
Yes.
How do I prepare to meet and engage with that particular person?
Yes.
What are some of the tools that I need in order to be effective at these music conferences and events and things like that? So it's coming. Trust me.
Look out.
It's yes.
Look out.
Absolutely. So what you been working on lately? Besides all the other stuff you've been...
All the other stuff.
Right.
Working on getting myself more organized. You know, just to, like I said, prepare myself for these networking things. So like, I actually never did this. I used to just make music and then just have like a big folder of beats. Now I start like organizing my stuff as like as far as genres. So like international stuff, trap stuff, Kanye sound stuff, like
Kanye sound.
I put like Kanye-ish. That's my name for the Kanye-ish. Epic stuff, cinematic stuff. Like I got like folders where I could just, if somebody want to come over, oh yeah, you want some cinematic? Boom, then we got a bunch of beats that like fall into that line.
Yeah.
So I'm like learning to organize myself. I'm learning, working on, obviously we already talked about this, but Worship Wednesday, just kind of revamping that. Actually about to work on a documentary about just to dig deeper into like my life. What I'm gonna do is, the end goal is to come out with a five song project called The Gym Volume 2, and it's gonna show me like physically in the gym, like getting, you know, stronger, getting bigger, getting healthier, because I feel like a lot of my energy is like lost. You know what I mean? It's probably because I eat a lot of fast food, so I'm like cutting fast food in July, except Chick-fil-A, sorry. That's from heaven, man. What you gonna do?
This is like manna.
What you gonna do? Right. So yeah, I'll be doing a documentary about like my physical growth and then also my spiritual side, like just kind of like, you know, fight the good fight of faith. Like how you gonna fight when you don't train? You know, how you gonna contend if you don't train? So it's like showing that side, but then showing the physical side. So I'm gonna try to do like a documentary, like kind of keeping y'all, like kind of showing y'all my life. But then at the end of the day, when it's done, you'll get like a project out of it. So stay tuned on that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
So last and final question.
Yes.
What advice would you give someone coming into this music industry?
So many things I can say. But I think the main thing that I'm learning, which is huge, is just, man, finding your identity. Really in this whole thing, because everybody is not meant to do the same thing. Everybody has their own fingerprint and their own design, and I would say, man, like if you're not plugged, man, get plugged. You know, with God, get plugged with the Creator, just to really like learn, because you'll really learn like yourself out of that. And I think from there, man, you really can't go wrong as far as like the path for your life in this music thing. Outside of that, like, yo, consistency, like stay consistent with it. Like, don't give up. When I started, I just was working. People said it was trash. And I was like, what? You crazy. Like, my mindset was just like, what? You smoking, bro. Like, what? Yo, stay consistent. And man, don't lose that zeal about it. Don't lose that passion. You know what I mean? Don't let comparison or hate get in. Like, if you know this is what you need to do, yo, stay at it. It'll happen. It may not happen the way you want it. And that's what I learned too. Like, I had a plan of my own, like this is how I wanted to happen. But it may not happen that way. You just gotta like go with the journey and man, stay the course. Stay the course. That's what's up. Yes. Yes, sir.
Hot Handz.
Strict 9.
It has been a pleasure, brother.
Oh,
absolutely.
Man. It's been amazing, man.
Absolutely. So one of these days we're going to have you back on the show. Yes. Just kind of talk about some different things I have planned for the things that I kind of want to do with the show.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, keep up the good work, brother.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
You too, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all too, man. You guys are awesome, man. We don't get much love back there.
Yes, they are. The camera guys here in the back.
I appreciate y'all. I do y'all job.
They are amazing camera operators. I raised them myself.
Yeah, I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
Absolutely. All right.